So everybody sing along. This could be tonight's one more song. The shot we take before the bell. We raise our glass in song that we know so well. Hey, 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 hey.
That's right, we do raise our glass.
Yes, we do. Not only,
But who are we? American Brews and Tunes.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity-beeby-dow!
Well, thank you for joining us for our very special 25th episode.
Wow, 25!
That's right, if our episode was the length of a year, our podcast would be a quarter of a century old.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, podcast.
If we released one episode every year,
Yeah.
this would be our 25th year in production.
It's quite that's quite a feat.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Like My Two Left Feet, starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Well,
I believe that got him his first Academy Award, if I'm not
okay.
mistaken.
I'm excited to see the Phantom Thread.
I am too. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. It's hard to tell what, like, I can get a kind of a general idea, but I can't really tell 100%.
It looks pretty bomb, either way.
That's what trailers are supposed to be, though.
Yeah,
I feel like trailers...
they're supposed to be like vague enough to keep you interested, but not vague enough to get you interested.
Yeah, like, I feel like most trailers today, I can look at it and pretty much predict the entire movie. Like
Yeah.
a lot of trailers.
Well, yeah, it all depends on what...
It does.
the
I
trailer
don't want to
you're watching, or
overgeneralize
for
with
what
every
movie.
single trailer, but you know what I mean. Like, if you see a trailer and you... even if they're trying to be misleading, you can still generally get an idea.
Yeah.
But this one, not so much.
No, it seems like it's going to be good, though.
Yeah, looks good. And Daniel Day-Lewis is the best actor ever.
Quite
Props to-
possibly, actually.
Quite possibly. It's arguable, but I'll fight you to the death.
It's definitely arguable, but it seems like he is the best, though.
Yeah, he's great. He's a grand actor.
Yes.
But enough of that gress. Once again, we said this is our 25th episode of American Brews and Tunes. My name is Steven Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
That's right, and we are the two hosts of everyone's
Favorite podcast.
Everyone in the world loves this podcast.
Everyone does.
Everyone? Minus almost everyone. Nah, just kidding, but not really. So this is a great podcast about... What's it about, Jesse? I forget.
Well, you know what? If someone were to tell me the title of this podcast...
Well, how about this? If you were to commence a Wikipedia search about American Brews and Tunes, not that we're popular enough to necessitate a Wikipedia page, but if we were, what would our page say at the very top?
It would probably say, American Brews and Tunes, the best podcast known to man. This podcast follows two great friends who experience and adventure two amazing worlds that most people adventure, but these two are specifically great at it.
They're great at adventuring.
What is that world, you ask? Well, nay, let me tell you. Oh, wait, nay, let me proclaim it to you on this Wikipedia article.
But nay, let me proclaim it to you.
They adventure in the world of brews and tunes and or craft beer and music.
The world of brews and tunes. I was trying to get you to not say that. That's okay.
Wait, what?
Beer and music.
Oh,
That's right. More specifically, I myself, a lover of the punk rock genre, and
me, a lover of a lot of different genres.
which aren't punk rock.
Well, I also really like punk rock. But
If we had to classify, Jesse would say indie, folk, punk,
Indie, folk.
electronic. I don't know.
a good
He's-
mix of everything.
He's way more eclectically background than I am.
minus pop country.
Yeah, so I recommend a punk type album for him to listen to. and he recommends one of his many genres that he listens to for me to listen to.
Yeah.
We come together, we review those albums, all while trying a brand new craft beer.
What could be better than that? Not much.
Nothing. Except
Not
for
much.
a Blink-182 concert. But that's for another time. On this episode, anyways, we have reviewed some very good albums, in my opinion, and I'm sure in Jesse's opinion also.
I think so.
Jesse, what did you review this week?
I reviewed an album by the band Hostage Calm.
Oh, that sounds like a really scary band.
Please remain calm.
Okay, I'll remain calm. What's the name of the album?
Please remain calm.
Ah, classic. What a great joke.
You don't
just
understand, Steve. Remain calm.
I'm calm as a cucumber. Or is it cool as a cucumber?
Cool as a cucumber.
Whatever, I'm as calm as a calamity.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, but it was the first word I thought of it, and I knew it didn't make sense.
And you listened to an album by who I would say is the music's world, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, David Bowie, and the album is called... For those of you who couldn't see the black little shape of a star, which is the name of the album, it can be verbally called Blackstar.
Wait, what? Oh, did you like try to do a bit where like, and this album is, and then like something would appear on a TV show and it'd be a black star?
Yeah,
but
kind of. But I didn't know how to do it on a podcast.
Did you forget this is a podcast?
But like the actual name of the album is the
exactly.
the image of a black star.
Exactly, it's not
in the way that Prince changed his name to that symbol.
Yeah.
The name of this album was a legitimate star that was black.
Yeah.
But we call the album Blackstar.
It's not called Black Star. It's literally that little sprite of a black star.
But since we can't call that anything, it's called Blackstar.
Okay, I see why you said David Bowie, the album
blank. If you could see what we were doing, you would love it, but that's okay.
Actually, literally all you did was say David Bowie's album.
And I smiled.
You just smiled. That was it.
In my head, I saw it, but that's okay. We'll come back to these albums because that's the latter portion of the podcast.
Yes.
So let's talk about our brews.
You know what? I think that would be.
I think generally I always ask you what you have first. So I'm going to go out and say what I have
Steve,
first. I'm going to say what I have. Or
Steve,
you could ask me.
What brew are you having tonight?
I'm having a punch in the abdominal of a brew.
Oh, wow.
It's by the brewery Lagunitas, which is, I believe, is from California.
Yes. I believe so.
It's originally California, but they've got another location in Illinois. It's one of their one-hitter series, which means they brew either once a year or one time. I think just once a year, or one time total.
It's either just because I don't know about this one.
It says 2017 one-time hitter, so I think I've
never seen this one in previous years.
Me neither. I've never seen this before, and it sounded really interesting. It's called the Saketumi, and it's spelled Sakitumi. So. Well, you're like, what? That doesn't sound like Saketumi. It's an ale with sake yeast and rice.
Interesting.
So, for those of you who don't know,
very interesting.
Sake is a Japanese rice liquor.
Yeah, it's super
and it's served warm, which is the way I would explain it is it's kind of the way that my taste buds interpret it is that's what I was looking for. It tastes like tea mixed with a really strong wine.
Yeah.
Like not a fruity wine, but the booziness of a wine.
It being warmed up, it tastes more like a wine. More like the color of a white wine, but it's actually just clear. It looks like water.
And it's made with rice.
It's not sweet like wine is.
No.
It just kind of has that same type of alcoholic warmness that wine gives you, or like that whiskey gives you.
So if you can imagine a strong wine with a slight taste of tea, maybe, and it's warm.
Yeah, I mean tea, or just
not 100%, but
kind of like that earthiness that rice gives you, as opposed to like the earthiness of wheat or barley or the malts that normally would be in beer. The rice gives you a slightly milder earthiness, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like milder. I've had some rice beers before, and they're very tame.
Yeah.
But this bottle, there's a little man on the front. He kind of looks like a baby. With his little blonde tuft of hair, but he's got punching gloves and he's punching. So Saketumi. So I'm very curious about this beer.
I've had it before. It's pretty good. It's interesting though.
Yeah, I've had this for a while, so I'm excited. What do you have this week, Jesse? Do you have a Saketumi also?
No.
Oh,
I do not.
Or as our favorite actor would say, Tommy Wiseau of the room.
We're kind of. I'm excited to see the movie The Disaster Artist. I haven't seen it yet. but it's based on The Room, and it's Tommy Wiseau.
So, yeah,
Wiseau. He laughs a lot like that. Oh,
oh, Greg, you're so funny.
oh, hi, Mark.
Greg's like, she got beat up so bad they put her in the ICU, and Tommy's like, that's not funny.
I know.
It's so weird.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, that was
that
a
has
huge press.
absolutely nothing to do with my beer.
I certainly hope not.
I'm having a beer from Ballast Point, which
nice.
is quite a fantastic brewery.
Yes.
Their sculpin is amazing.
Most
Same
of their
with the grapefruit sculpin.
Yeah, most of their beers have oceanic references.
Yes.
I'd say.
So this is no different. This is a different version of their porter, the Victory at Sea porter.
Which I think I've had the Victory at Sea, if I'm not
I don't
mistaken.
even know if I've had that one.
While you're explaining this, I'm going to look up and see if I've had it. So you
All right.
continue to explain what's different about this version.
This
that you have.
one is the Coconut Victory at Sea, which is an imperial porter with coffee and natural flavors. I'm excited about this beer. I mean, A, I like coconut a lot. B, I like Ballast Point. C, I like the sea. D, I like Victory. And E, why not have Victory while at sea?
This is true. Neither of us have had this. I'm looking right now. The reason I remember the name is because I've seen this beer all over the place, but there was one time at the Flying Saucer, one of our favorite local watering holes, they had the peppermint Victory at Sea. Do you remember that?
Oh.
I don't know if you remember that, but I remember seeing it and wanting to order it, but there was a couple other ones I wanted to try instead.
Oh, this is 10%.
Oh, you gotta be...
As we
That's
start-
a porter?
Yeah, an imperial porter.
Oh, okay.
As we are both checking in our beers on the best beer app ever.
Untapped.
Untapped? You say, what is the beer name of the app? It's called Untapped.
It's a social app for drinking beer and hanging out with your buddies, I guess.
Yeah, they are not a sponsor.
But we wish they were. We love them.
Yeah, they're great.
Sponsor us, you guys. Anyways, we're going to crack our beers, pour them into our glasses, and give a little...
Give it a little hip hippogans and
hip ho! Ho!
hip hoes.
That actually doesn't explain at all what we're going to do. We're going to pour our beer in the glasses, explain what it looks like, give a little
say our magic word,
aroma
and,
detail, give our magic words, and then try it.
Yes.
We both have bottles, so we're going to open them.
And and then we're going to be... This is quite the bottle opener you got here.
Isn't it?
It looks like a bookmark.
It looks like one of the ones that someone would have at an actual bar. You know, like bartenders like carry that one.
Like a professional one.
I got that.
They can hold on a keychain if they so wish.
My parents got me I think it was a 3-month membership. It was for my birthday a few years ago. A 3-month membership to a craft beer club.
Oh, really?
Where they would send you a 12-pack every month.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
And it was, you would get... I think 3 beers each.
Wait, what do you mean 3 beers each?
4 different types of beers.
3 beers of
3
each
beers
type.
each. And it was 2 different, so you get 2 different breweries, 2 beers from each brewery, both different styles from each brewery. And so you'd have 4 different beers, 3 of each, and you got a package each month. But that came with the first order.
Nice.
It was pretty
That's
cool.
Pretty cute.
It was a nice little birthday gift, so thanks to my parents for that.
Right off the bat, I'm holding my glass. I'm sitting on a chair, and I'm like holding my glass down at my waist level, and I can smell it from all the way.
I actually am smelling a little whiff of yours, too.
The coconut is strong.
Mine doesn't smell like much of anything, actually.
No, yeah, it doesn't.
Here, do you smell anything? You can smell a little bit.
Yeah, if you get your nose right up there,
but
you
it's
can
not.
definitely
It's
smell
not
it.
potent.
Like,
go ahead and take a sniff of yours. Waft it into the nostrils.
But yeah, like, this. I feel like I'm having
get a sniff of
wine.
yours.
I'm wafting it towards.
Oh
Steve's
my
face.
gosh, it smells like actual coconut shavings. Not like fake coconut. It tastes like if you were to like have a coconut in front of you, and shave the coconut and bake it. That's what it smells like.
Oh man,
it smells like natural, very natural.
I'm really, really excited to try this.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
So why don't we get to it?
Yours is dark. I wouldn't say it's as like dark as a potent stout such as the Even More Jesus by Evil Twin.
Yeah, but it's still.
But it's like a really dark brown, borderline black. But it's not the darkest we've ever seen. That's
I can't
for sure.
see through it.
Mine's fairly light. I wouldn't say it's as light as what you'd think of like a Coors Light, but it's pretty darn light.
It kind of just looks more like
It's got a golden color,
like a pale ale,
like a pale ale,
wheat ale, except
or a good dense lager.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah. So let's give the magic catchphrase and skibbity boop scoop.
Yeah, skibbity boop scoop.
Yeah, let's give a little skeet ball action.
Shibbity boop.
Oh, interesting. Mine's fairly. It's fairly light, but the flavor is really kind of really. I'm having a hard time describing this actually.
Yeah, from what I remember, it is kind of difficult to describe. Like it kind of has the same mouthfeel as like a normal lager, but it's almost lighter.
It's very light, and the flavor is very fleeting.
Yeah, it's fleeting. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, because I taste it up front, and then it disappears really quick, and I'm having a hard time describing it. I like it better than a lager, I think. It's quite flavorful, and it's pretty. I'd say it's fairly boozy. This beer is actually at 9%.
Oh yeah,
it certainly doesn't taste like it.
Yeah,
it tastes like it's at like 4%. But flavor wise, it's crisp.
So you kind of get what I'm saying about like the kind of light earthiness.
Yeah, it's definitely earthy. It's got a nice mouth. It's just got a thicker mouthfeel than a lager.
Yeah,
but the flavor goes away quickly. But I like it. I like it. Do you remember liking this one?
Yes, I do remember liking it.
Yeah, it's interesting, but
it's pretty good. That is pretty nice. I like that a lot.
Isn't it?
It kind of has like a dryness to it.
That's probably from the sake yeast.
The sake yeast and the rice. Yeah. Anyway, on to my beer. This coconut Victory at Sea is absolutely delicious.
How coconutty is it?
Coconutty enough that you understand that it's coconut, but not too coconutty that it's like overpoweringly present.
You remember that one? I mean? Do you remember that one coconut porter you had in the podcast? Death by Coconut?
Yeah.
How does it compare to that?
That one was way more coconut heavy.
And it was really sweet.
This one is bitter.
Oh, interesting. So it's got more like the stout porter flavor.
Yeah, it has the nice roasty malties, as we call it.
All right. You mind if I give a little sipsky on here?
Yeah, do a little switcheroo action here.
Oh, the smell is fantastic. It's very aromatic.
You know what it is? It's roasty malties, but it also has that coffee bitterness. That's what really comes through for me.
Yo, big time. Yeah. Big time. The coconut comes through after, but the first flavor you get is the extraordinarily roasted malts. Yeah. Very roasty malty, and it tastes like they roasted the malts a lot.
Yeah, it tastes really, really good.
Like dark chocolate malts almost. It's
like think about a chocolate covered coffee bean.
Yes.
It's kind of like that coconut version.
Not what I would call a dessert beer. I mean,
no, it's definitely not. It's more savory.
Yes, I would say sweet. That. The Death by Coconut is definitely more dessert.
Yes.
Not this.
No, this one is. I really like this.
Yeah,
there's also a peanut butter version of it.
Of the
that I almost bought both of them, but then I was like, I'll just have one.
I think they've got a whole bunch of different Victories at Sea, but the peanut butter, is that what those are your choices?
Yeah, it was either coconut or peanut butter, and I was like, what do I want more? And so I went with coconut because I like coconut a lot.
I'm looking at their flavors. They've got the regular peppermint, coconut, peanut butter. There's a bourbon barrel aged. Oh. That'd be interesting. They had one that was Oreo cookies, maple bourbon.
Oh my gosh! I
didn't
realize they had all these. Chai?
Because these ones are like smaller. I'm guessing they were just small one-offs. You probably could only get it at the brewery. Yeah. They've got chai, gingerbread, chocolate orange, Woodford Reserve whiskey barrel, salted caramel.
Wow.
A whole bunch of different ones.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's cool. That's fun because I'm guessing this is like their flagship porter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
they don't normally do darker beers, right?
I'm more familiar with their
IPA,
their IPAs, Sculpin, yeah. But I like them.
Yeah, I would say.
I think we've got good beers.
Are pretty good.
Yeah. If our flavor profiles on these beers taste different at all throughout the podcast, we'll let you know. But other than that, let's delve in, shall we?
Other than that, yeah, if you find this at your local liquor store, either of these, give them a shot. They're pretty darn good.
Yeah, give them a shot. They're pretty good.
Yeah, give them a shot. They're pretty good.
Yeah, good. We got it pretty good. We don't stop this. It's gonna go on forever if we do that.
We would probably.
We would do that forever.
We'd probably end up going into like accents and then.
Yeah, give them a shot. They're pretty good. Stop. No more.
Yes, give them a shot. They're quite delicious.
Give them a shot. They're pretty good. I like that look of the Irish.
Well, why don't you just give them a shot? They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the albums.
Okay.
I'm gonna...
No more. Let's just review your album.
Sorry about that.
Please remain calm and review.
Please remain calm. Remain calm. All right, yeah, I'm gonna start off.
What's
Mostly because
your background on this band? Because did you know them before I think you might have known them.
No, I did not know about them before you told me about them. In
Okay.
college? No, when I was here.
When I was here, I discovered them. It was
So
my
you-
first
you
year in
prob-
Nashville. It was
I
my
wonder
very
if-
first year in Nashville.
You must have texted me about them then.
I think I did. The
you were
thing
probably
that
like, check these guys out.
yeah, it was both Diamond Youth and both Diamond Youth and the Swellers tweeted about their upcoming album,
Which was
Die on Stage, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, if both of these bands that I love are tweeting about this album, I might as well check it out.
Yeah.
And I heard one of the singles, which was Million Miles Away, whatever that song's
Yeah.
called.
Oh, that song's so good.
Or whatever the song's called, in 1,000 Miles.
Yeah, 1,000 miles away.
And I thought based on that song alone, I pre-ordered the album, and I was super happy, so I told Jesse to listen to it, and he ended up loving it, and
Yeah.
it was great. I was supposed to go see Hostage Calm in Nashville play with Neck Deep, and then they broke up.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
It's always so sad whenever a band like this breaks up because I would say that this band has a very unique sound.
Yeah, and a lot
Like
to say.
they're not straight rock, they're not straight punk. Like they mix a lot of different genres together. And
They started out as a hardcore punk band, and then they grew exponentially with each album. Like they
Yeah.
started adding a little bit of Latino influence, maybe some 50s pop, rock and roll, all kind of like interesting stuff.
Yeah, they're just really good.
Yeah.
And
This is their third album. It came out
Okay,
right
it's their
before.
third album.
It was the one that came out before Die on
Die on
Stage.
Stage, okay. And the only album I've listened to by them was Die on Stage, so I haven't listened to this album too much. Well, obviously I have for the past 2 weeks, but beforehand I hadn't listened to this at all. You maybe showed me one song from it.
Probably, but
You probably
other
showed
than
me
that,
track 2 from
Other
it.
than that, not much.
But anyway,
So let's see what you think about it.
let's delve in to the album Please Remain Calm by the band Hostage Calm.
Hostage Calamity?
Hostage Calm.
Ho ho ho.
Please remain calm.
All right, I'll remain calm if you recommend.
All right, track number 1 is called On Both Eyes.
What the heck could that mean?
I don't know. Why don't we just take a little look-see here?
Yeah, let's.
I gave this song Foomph out of Foomph. For all you English speakers, that means 5 out of 5.
AKA a perfect score.
Well, you know how I do recommendations. If I recommend it, I'm just gonna give it 5 out of 5.
Fair enough.
That's what I've always done.
Not me.
No, definitely not.
Because what
you.
if it's a horrible album that I don't like? If I have to recommend a song, I can't give it the perfect review.
I mean,
Per se.
I guess. I
But
understand. what you're
that's an
saying.
extreme example.
I understand what you're saying, but I mean, you're wrong, but that's okay.
Well, we all can be wrong
Just
from time
kidding.
to time.
Anyway, let me get to this song. I give it 5 out of 5, and I recommend it. It's called On Both Eyes.
And when
the
floodgates...
Yeah.
I'll let you... I won't interrupt.
I went in the ground. Anyway, this is a great album opener.
Yes, it is.
It's, from what I can tell, it's a song about always fighting for someone you love or who you believe in, or what you believe in, basically.
But did you hear... Do you know any of the political elements in this song? They talk about the housing crisis a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they talk about all the
Yeah,
broken homes and like
yeah.
like eviction notices.
Yeah.
And so they talk about friends like who aren't living in houses anymore.
Dang.
So it's kind of interesting when you read the lyrics.
Yeah, it kind of gives it
But, I mean, obviously-
a little bit of a different purpose.
Obviously, what you said the song's about, it's got that in it also.
Yeah, and I guess maybe he uses the framework of, because he talks about a girl that he wants to commit to, like he doesn't just want to have like a superficial relationship with. So maybe in that context of like that story, he's commenting on the economic situation of the time.
Yes.
Anyway, this song is just so golden good.
It really is. God darn it.
And right away, if you haven't listened to them before, you hear the lead main singer's voice.
I think his name is Chris Martin, maybe, or something Martin. But they call him
don't know.
Seymour. I know that.
Okay.
his
But
voice is
he
unique.
has a very unique voice. I don't think it would be one. I wouldn't say his voice is like Tim Armstrong or Bob Dylan, where like people hate it but it's still we still think it's a good voice.
Yeah, it's a good voice, but it's odd.
It's different, but
out
not
there.
as different as say Tim Armstrong or Bob Dylan.
I'd agree. But great song. I really like the song a lot.
Super great song.
All set to expire. A fighter missed his prime. My daddy said no one likes a whiner, but I've got shiners on both eyes. Sorry for singing the chorus, but I couldn't help it.
Daddy said no one likes a whiner.
But you know what I said? We never wondered if we could.
Yeah. Never wondered if we could. What? What are you trying to reference?
The next song.
The next...
It's the first line for the next song. We never wondered
if we could.
Or was it should?
Should.
That's should. I'm sorry. My bad, guys. My bad.
Track number 2 brings me to my second recommendation.
I knew you'd recommend this.
5 out of 5. Star. Great.
I think this might be my favorite Hostage Calm song in general.
Easily the best song on the album.
I'm saying it might be their best song in their catalog.
Okay. Well, I'm saying from
Fair enough.
this album, it's the best. This is one of the shorter songs. Mm-hmm. If not the shortest, I can't recall. But it's called Don't Die on Me Now.
But it's not, it couldn't be, it's got to be between 2 and 3 minutes.
It's like 2.5.
2.5.
Most of the songs are like 3 minutes or 4 minutes.
So it's not like a super duper
Yeah,
short
it's
song,
not
but
like
it's not
30 seconds.
Yeah, but it's not 4 to 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
But gosh, is it good.
It's so good though. This kind of has a similar message, like fighting to make something work. Basically, the chorus kind of says it all.
Yeah, it very much so.
They basically say, just don't die on me now. What's the beginning of the chorus? They say,
now it's all falling down. Don't die on me now. Not tonight, not this town. Don't die on me now. Oh. Oh man, this song. The best thing about this is every chorus gets bigger and bigger. The first chorus is where they like kind of pull most of the instruments out. The drums kind of come out.
Basically everything back.
Yeah. The second chorus, they add the drums that are kind of like building, and by the time the third chorus comes in, everything's playing full blast. It's really cool how they build it up.
It's it's just so good.
Great song.
Just it's one of those songs that
I tear up because it's so good.
What?
I tear up a little because it's so
really?
good. No, but like, like you know,
that's the emotional state that you are in.
Yeah, I sing this song to myself often.
You're like, don't die on me now, self.
Don't die on me now, car.
Not tonight, not this town.
But you know what I mean.
Don't die on me now.
Great song.
But this is one of the songs that the first time you hear it, you're automatically in love with it.
Yeah,
like you automatically are like, this.
It doesn't require
great. This song's
listens.
great. Yeah,
yeah.
No matter I mean, I guess maybe someone wouldn't like it, but
crazy person.
if you're crazy and only like Steve Reich music,
who likes that?
Me.
Yeah, but you're crazy. Steve Reich, or John Cage,
or Philip Glass,
or Philip Phillips.
Philip Glass is the man. Philip Phillips,
Those two are very different. But anyways, I'll let you continue.
Any American A Broken Heartland.
What the heck's A Broken Heartland?
The title of the next track, of course.
Oh, well, why don't you move on to it?
Track number 3. I didn't recommend this song, but I still gave it 4 out of 5.
It's a great song.
Yeah, it has a really nice bridge. Basically, I think the song is kind of about not waiting for someone to come and save you, but kind of like picking yourself up by the bootstraps and whatnot.
I agree. I really like the chorus.
Yeah. Track number 4 is called Woke Up Next to a Body. This is where we hear the other singer.
Yeah, and he's from a different band, I believe.
Okay.
He's featured on this song.
Oh, okay. It's a really great chorus.
Yeah.
But
I woke up next to a body.
But I don't particularly like his I don't really like his voice too much. I mean, like he has a good voice, obviously. But
the other guy,
yeah. So I gave the song 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, but that's impossible. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Why are we singing
that? Because that's the title of the next track. Track number 5. 4 out of 5.
Nice.
This also seems kind of like a song about like world issues.
World issues.
Well,
Issues. The issues of the world.
no tissues required.
No tissues for the issues.
No tissues.
All right, but
Don't misuse this. I don't know, something else there.
I'm trying to think of other words that work with there, but I can't think of any.
I don't know. Anyway, on to the next track.
Yeah, no, next track.
Track number 6. It's called May Love Prevail. This is a good... I give it 3.5 out of 5. Like, it's not my favorite song.
Very poppy song.
It is a very poppy song. But you hear a xylophone in this song for the first time. Which...
Very prevalent.
Yeah, which is... kind of gives you an idea of what they're willing to do, like what they did to change their sound in a certain way. So that's kind of why I like it, because it kind of gives you a good idea of the band's like willingness to change or
experiment,
not change,
branch out.
Yeah, but let's go even a step further in that direction with the next song, track number 7, the quote unquote M word.
What is the M word?
I don't know, because it's either marriage or because the girl in the song is named Meredith.
Yeah, I know it's Meredith, but I would say marriage.
I think it's probably marriage.
That's what I would guess.
I gave this song 5 out of 5 and recommended it.
Almost acoustically driven.
Yeah.
Is it true?
So the reason that I recommend this song is not only because it's kind of a really cool subject matter, but it also is a completely different sound from the rest of the album.
It changes pace.
Like, it sounds way more jazzy and like way just way different.
You get
the first
violins
line
on there,
is,
right?
Yeah, violins. What
probably
else is
string
there? Trumpets,
maybe string section.
Yeah,
or
probably
just
the string section and trumpets and whatever else. But the song is basically about this character Meredith, who knows if she's an actual person, but she's trying to decide if she wants to marry a guy who seems like he's not into it or like wrong for her. And
Meredith, do you really want to marry him? My favorite part in the song is when the strings come in. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's one of the moments for me on this album.
Yeah. Anyway, so I recommend that song as my last recommendation. I'm going to go through these last ones fairly quickly because we need to get to Blackstar. Track 8 is called Patriot, 4 out of 5.
Starts off a cappella.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about this song too.
Weather forever. Lots of vocal harmonies because it's a cappella.
A lot of oohs and ahs.
Not what you'd expect from a punk band, am I right?
Yeah, exactly.
But good song.
It's a cappella minus the tambourine in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There's like but it's basically a cappella for like probably 2/3 of the whole song.
And then they bring in instruments.
Very, very cool. Track number 9 is called Closing Remarks.
That's a fun song.
3.5 out of 5.
It's a fast one.
Track number 10 is called One Last Salute. 4 out of 5. Again, kind of a song about chasing your dreams. And
pretty common theme on this album.
Yeah, pretty common theme. But one thing that sets this one apart is that the line when they say, "When the floor gave out, we found common ground." So I think it's kind of talking maybe about their experience in the music scene in their early days or something like that, and like finding common ground with people who are chasing the same dream as you.
Fair enough.
All around, great album.
Yeah,
Just super
is.
good.
Hostage Calm is definitely worth
checking out.
Oh yeah, I think in the future we'll do one of our little half-hour reviews of their album Die on Stage because we both love that album.
Or maybe, never mind. well, we're also probably going to do one with Jeff Rosenstock as well.
Well, we definitely will with Jeff Rosenstock. I was just going with Hostage Calm because the episode. But a big turn. We're going to go on to David Bowie now with his ultimate album. Which is the symbol of Blackstar, which we call Blackstar. This album was released January 8th, 2016. Why is that date important? That is David Bowie's birthday. More importantly, his 69th birthday.
Yep.
More importantly, 2 days after that, he died of liver cancer.
Yeah, died 2 days after.
It was his 25th studio album also.
Just insane.
25 albums, only to die 2 days later. Was it a surprise? Yes. He did not announce that he was stricken with cancer at all.
Yeah.
The first that the public heard of cancer was the news of his death.
That he had cancer.
Was the news of his death.
Right, no, but you said the first public heard of cancer. I was like, oh, well, heard of his cancer.
The first the public had heard of his cancer was
Yeah.
when we heard that he died.
Right, but you said
I
the public heard of
misspoke.
cancer.
I misspoke a little bit. But he had been getting treatment and been suffering from cancer for about a year and a half, like 18 months at that point.
Yeah.
So for him, it wasn't new. It was a very familiar thing.
Yes.
In fact, even the band during the recording process of this album
Had no idea, right?
absolutely, they had no idea.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
But this album, kind of taken away, like moving away from the cancer issue, this album in general, stylistically, is really unique.
Yes, very unique.
They talked about, like, the producer, and I don't know if David Bowie said this, but the producer said they wanted to avoid rock and roll. Some people want to say they wanted to avoid pop. I know you say anti-pop, right?
Well, yeah, a lot of reviews that came out whenever this album came out said this album is anti-pop.
And I would agree.
Which I agree with.
Yeah.
You know.
Some of their influences for this album, which are really interesting, like the heaviest influence that they said, and this was David Bowie and the producer are on record as saying they were listening to and were heavily influenced by Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly.
It makes sense.
As well as two other bands, which was Death Grips, a hip-hop group, and Boards of Canada, which was an electronic group. Mm-hmm.
So the Kendrick Lamar thing makes sense with what's the song, Girl something?
It's called
Girl Loves Me, I think.
Girl Loves Me, yes.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense with that song.
So it's really interesting to have those as influences on David Bowie, who himself is an influential artist.
One of the most.
The most.
influential
So
artists.
David Bowie, who's been performing since the late 60s, early 70s, huge artist, influenced so many people.
The Daniel Day-Lewis of the music world.
Yes,
basically.
he invented himself and reinvented himself time and time again.
So many times. And this album is no exception.
So he's been a huge influence, and for him to say that he's been influenced on current artists like Kendrick Lamar is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
It's really cool. This album, Blackstar, a lot of people classify it as a mix of rock, jazz fusion, new jazz, experimental, electronic, and some word that they called avant-garde.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just kidding. I know. Avant-garde.
avant-garde, yeah.
Avant-garde, I know. I just like saying, oh, Goldern, you say he's doing the avant-garde?
If I had to choose something,
Is he an avant-gardener?
Oh my gosh.
He
Call
better
back.
turn to his avant-garden. I hope he's got an avant-garden hoe.
What the heck are you talking?
I'm sorry. I'm just really aggressing.
If I had to choose one of those, I would say it's experimental. I would say it's avant-garde. Yeah, I would say
experimental pop rock.
There's not really a genre
Jazz.
that you would put this in.
It's hard to, and song to song, it varies so much.
It's jazz in the way that jazz is
Freeform.
inherently experimental and freeform.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
This album, to move on from stylistically, when it was released, and I guess after his death, it was really critically acclaimed by listeners and critics alike.
Yeah.
Everybody loved this album and thought it was fantastic. It debuted at #1 on the charts.
Really?
Yeah, it did phenomenally. And it won 2 Grammys, one for the best alternate music album and one for the best recording package. I don't know if you... I know you've seen...
Alternative album?
Yes.
Okay, you said alternate.
Whatever. I don't know if you saw the... I know you've seen the package for the CD, but have you seen the vinyl package?
No.
What it is it's a big black vinyl... what do you call it? The sleeve?
Sleeves, yeah. Yes.
And on the center where the star is actually cut out.
Oh,
so you
really?
can see the record.
Oh,
the
that's
star
pretty
is
cool.
the record itself.
That's pretty cool.
It's really cool. You gotta look. We'll post a picture for you guys so you can
I
see
gotta
too.
get that.
I think it
should
might be
buy
worth
it.
owning.
I think so, yeah.
Contextually, it's worth owning.
Yeah.
I'll touch on that later, though. On to song number 1, which is called Blackstar. I gave it 4 black stars, and I gave it a check mark, which means I recommended it. This song is 9 minutes and 58 seconds long. Holy cow, it is long.
Yeah.
I would say it's almost 2 or 3 different songs within one.
There are three parts.
Three parts, yes.
A, B, and A prime, I'd say.
Yes, which I actually agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
The first part is... It's really kind of...
Villa of Harmon.
Exactly what Jesse just said. That's what it is.
Lies
But
a
it's
solitary candle.
It's kind of... It's really dark
At
and
the
really
center
imagery
of it
driven.
all,
Am I right?
Your eyes. Yeah.
The imagery is really thick, and they're talking about like in the center of the of the what? The villa of the ordinary,
Villa of Armen or something. I can't remember.
I can't remember the word, but there are vague allusions to maybe like a satanic theme or a black mass, which I've read. Mm-hmm. There are really dark images, and he's got all of these weird harmonies that coat his voice that make it sound ominous and electronic.
It's very ominous.
And it's super dark sounding. And there's chanting, like the
Yeah.
And when you think of like the one candle burning, you think of like the satanic pentagram, which is a star. A little bit, maybe.
A red star, perhaps. But
Maybe. It's a stretch, obviously. But maybe you can make the connection. But it's really crazy sounding first part.
I wouldn't say that's the connection to make.
Maybe.
I think the connection comes in this B section.
Perhaps. I think
that's
the B
where it
section
comes
way
in.
more than the A section. The second part, I like a lot better. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to say it is better because I like it better. Maybe people like the first part better.
Yeah.
I think it's more melodic, and I think the instrumentation really opens up big time. It's a 180 from the first part.
Yeah, literally.
Big time, man.
For the B section.
Yes. It's very nice sounding, and it's kind of very reflective. Like I think the first line in the B section is, "Something happened on the day he died.
Something happened on the day he died.
Spirit rose a meter and stepped aside."
Baby rose a meter and stepped aside. Somebody else took his place and bravely cried,
"I'm a black star.
I'm a black star."
Which the word black star, I think, holds a lot of ground on this song and this album, obviously.
Yeah. It's almost as if like the first section was dark and satanic or whatever.
Maybe for the purpose of being dark?
But then it's like a complete 180, like you said, to like an almost angelic sounding.
Yes, because it is really pleasant sounding in the B section. But the word black star in my research and whatever could reference a lot of things.
Whatever.
There's a lot of references it could mean, like a literal black star referring to a dying star, like what you'd see in the sky when a star dies.
Well, that makes sense.
What happens is the star is dead, but it's still emitting energy.
It's still emitting light.
Yeah, not light. Well, light, but
the light, like if a star, because like whenever a star explodes or whatever, its light still is traveling towards us.
But even after you see the light, it's still emitting energy, even if it's not light. So
like that would be
in the context of David Bowie dying.
Yeah, like that would be a direct correlation to that.
Yes.
But I also would say, I don't know if you're going to touch on this, but I would say like, because later in the B section he says, I'm not a gangster, I'm not a pop star, I'm not a rock star or whatever.
He actually says gang star.
Gang star, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that it's calling to his uniqueness as well.
I actually I didn't think about that.
Saying,
but
I'm a black star. Like I'm a different version of.
Yeah, I'm not a pop star. I'm not a rock star. I'm not a gang star. Blah blah blah. I'm a black star.
I'm a black star. Like I'm not like anybody else. I'm completely unique.
I didn't think about that, but that makes a lot of sense actually.
I also think the fact that the definition of a black star, which is like a dying,
but they're
star
also
that's still emitting energy.
There are also other black star references that could be attributed to like I don't know if there's one particular culture, but I think a couple cultures will take the image of a black star and use it as symbolism for death and rebirth. I read that in my findings, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But the B section's awesome and crazy.
Yeah.
On to the third section, which we would call A prime, which harkens back to A. I'd say it returns to the first part.
It's slower than the first section.
It's slower, but they definitely refer back to that first part.
Well, it's like the same thing, but slower.
Yes, same lyrics and everything.
Yeah.
It's a crazy song. I recommend checking it out.
It really is.
10 minutes long, which seems
crazy.
Kind of crazy, but it's worth checking out. I recommend it. On to song number 2, shall we go? Yes. We shall. Song number 2 is called "'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore."
'Tis a pity she was
kind of vulgar sounding when you think about it, but this is actually a reference to a play by John Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him. I really didn't know him before this.
I read that today. I had no idea before today.
He was a 17th century playwright, and he had written a play with the same name. I gave this song 2.5 black stars, so I don't recommend it, but it's worth listening to. The saxophone's crazy in this song.
Yeah.
It's very freeform, I'd say. Very jazz freeform.
Kind of almost atonal.
Yeah, they're playing all over the place.
Yeah.
It almost might sound like a child's picking up the saxophone and playing random notes.
I don't think so.
With skill.
I disagree with you, but
I'm saying if a trained saxophone player is trying to emulate a child playing saxophone, they're doing all these crazy things. Or if you're playing a reed, which is the thing that makes noise.
I played saxophone.
I know, but I'm explaining for our listeners.
Yeah.
The reed is the wooden part that vibrates in the mouthpiece that makes the noise in the saxophone. Yep. If you don't know how to play a reed, it kind of makes a weird shrill noise. Mm-hmm. And that happens a couple times in the song, right?
Yeah.
And they do it purposefully.
Yeah.
Freeform. I'm saying they did this very intentionally. Because if you're a well-trained saxophone player, you don't really do that on purpose.
Well, they did though.
You don't do it accidentally. I'm saying.
Yes.
So I'm saying they purposefully did that. That's what I'm trying to say.
This doesn't sound like a kid playing. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm saying it doesn't because it's phenomenal. But they do these noises.
That are not
it's
normal.
out there.
It's out there. Yeah.
Avant-garde, I would say.
Atonal. Avant-garde.
I didn't recommend this song, but the coolest thing I think about this song is the very first thing that you hear is David Bowie breathing. And you hear it again, and I think they actually incorporate it into the beat if you listen further in. It goes soft, but I think it's in there. But on to song number 3, which I think is one of the highlights of the album, I gave it 5 black stars, and I recommend it. It's called Lazarus.
Definitely. It's an amazing song.
Lazarus, if you're a biblical
character in the Bible
person, Lazarus is a person who was sick, and his sister, I believe, sisters went to Jesus and asked for help, and Jesus was doing something at the time, and he couldn't attend to Lazarus, so Lazarus died.
Yeah.
And Jesus said to the sisters, go and they came to him, right? And they were like, you didn't help us, and now he's dead.
Well, he got there a couple days late after.
They're like, you couldn't help, and now he's dead. And Jesus is like, no, he's not. Psych. Well,
no,
in different words,
like that,
he resurrected Lazarus, essentially brought him back from the dead.
And obviously, the story's a lot more in depth than that.
Yeah, that's very basic. We kind of really skimmed the surface.
But like one of the lines in the song, I didn't even think about it. The line that says, "I was looking for your ass," is like
could be reference to Jesus riding the donkey,
Jesus riding into Jerusalem,
big time,
a donkey.
Yes, because a lot of people think of the vulgar meaning of that for buns, but no, I think it's looking for Jesus.
A little tushy.
I think it's looking for Jesus when they say that.
Yeah, and so maybe not even Jesus is what he's talking about, but looking for that salvation.
Yes,
I don't know if he was religious or not, but
I don't think he was
looking for.
For my research,
meaning of life, I guess.
He followed Nietzsche quite a bit.
Oh, really?
I think agnosticism, maybe. Mm-hmm. But regardless,
I could see that.
Sounding wise, I think this song is maybe the most somber, contemplative, and maybe most melancholy song I've ever heard from David Bowie. Just the sound alone,
or you've ever heard it in general.
Not, I
would say
that's a very bold statement to say, so I'm not going to say that. But it's maybe out of his discography. And I would say it's one of the most. I'd say that it's up there.
Definitely up there.
It's very sad sounding, even if you don't listen to the lyrics. It's sad,
especially in the context of the fact that it's called Lazarus.
But I'm saying disregard the title, the lyrics, everything. It's sad sounding.
Yeah, especially
really
the end of it. Oh my gosh.
But this song refers to mortality big time.
Yeah.
And David Bowie dying, that's a huge thing. The first line is, "Look up here, I'm in heaven."
Look up here, man. I'm in heaven.
It's dark, and he later on he refers to his past, like going to New York and being broke.
By the time I got to New York,
I
was living like a king. Then I used up all my money.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I was looking for your ass.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, just the tone of his voice. And the combination with that, with the music, is just so insanely somber and sad.
It really is. But later on in the song, he talks about being free, like a bluebird. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you know much about the bluebird as a symbol, but the bluebird is referred to as like a symbol of freedom.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
And so it's obviously not an accident. So is he like being free in death? Maybe. Yeah. That's what I think.
I would say so, especially because he knew he was going to die while he was writing this album.
And one more note, the saxophone parts where they're following the motif, ba, 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 are the most focused saxophone parts on the album. Because later on in the song, the saxophones go crazy, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but when they're doing that,
purposeful.
I think so. I think it is. But when they're doing the motif, they're very focused, and they're doing, obviously, the motif. So they're doing the line. It's a great song. Check it out. I gave it 5 black stars. On to song number 4, which is called Sue. and then in parentheses, or the season of crime.
Yeah.
I gave this 3 3/4 black stars.
This brings it back to that play.
Yes, it does, 100%.
Yeah.
This brings it back to the play by John Ford called "'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore." This song is really fast, and it's got a really cool like groove between the guitars, bass, and drums.
Mm-hmm.
It's tight sounding. That's all I can say is that it's a really tight rhythmic beat and groove between the rhythm section. The story reflects the plot in that play, and that's really all I have to say about it.
Yeah, you guys can listen to it for yourselves.
I don't know how much it fits into David Bowie's narrative. I just think he put it in here because he was something about
You
the
must
play.
have liked that play a lot.
I believe this song was actually a B-side or an A-side to "'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore." Like one of them was a B-side, one was an A-side.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes sense.
they were released together.
Right.
But song number 5 is called "Girl Loves Me." I gave this 3 black stars, but I think it's really cool.
This is the song.
Even though I don't like it as much.
This is the song that was inspired by like Kendrick Lamar and other rappers.
Bowie says the F word, and I don't mean farts.
He doesn't say the F word in this song.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I don't think so.
Where the did Monday go?
Oh, yeah, obviously. What the heck am I thinking?
Yeah, what the heck are you, or what the F are you thinking?
Well,
Bowie's words, I guess.
I was thinking all about the connection to Clockwork Orange.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
He used a lot of words in language, which is slang. The slang words from A Clockwork Orange, which is a book originally, then Stanley Kubrick made the movie. It's a really
weird like slang
artsy,
language.
disturbing movie, but the main characters in this movie, which were played by, what's the guy's name?
I don't know.
Shoot, it's gonna bother me until I figure out this guy's name.
Well, we'll figure it out afterwards.
We'll figure it out afterwards, or I'll figure out somewhere along the line. I know the actor, but it takes place in Britain, and all these kind of hooligans are going around causing mayhem, violence, and doing drugs. They have their own language, which is a mix of like slang words and like Russian words.
Russian slang, yeah.
And so Bowie uses this language and a slang language from like the 70s gay scene in England, actually, the club scene.
Yeah.
So he combines those together to use words.
And I guess like on Lyric Genius, I read it today, like if you translate it, it kind of almost plays out like a rap song.
Yeah, actually, I would say
Like,
that because
with the translation to it.
On the website that we often refer to for interpreting lyrics, Lyric Genius, when you go on there, they'll take the actual slang words he uses and they'll
like in the context of the verse, and then they'll write out in a different verse what it translates to, basically.
Yeah, and so you
and
can
it
see
almost
what
does sound like a rap song.
Yeah,
like one of the lines was something about like all the girls making making guys go crazy. Except they use different words. But
I figured out who the actor was before I even found it on my phone.
Oh, really?
Malcolm McDowell.
Okay.
In case that means
Are you
anything to you.
satisfied now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
But it's cool that he uses these words. If you listen to the song and don't know it's slang, it sounds like gibberish.
It just sounds like bunch
gibberish.
of gibberish. Yeah.
But the word "where the F did Monday go," I think he's talking about time. Like, where does time go?
Yeah.
And a point of like trivia, which obviously he didn't intend. He died on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Right before Monday. So where the F did Monday go?
Yeah.
Kind of like a interesting thing to ponder, right?
Yeah, definitely.
On to song number
Onwards.
6. And just to reference this, there's only 7 songs on this album, so we're near the end.
Yeah.
But only being 7 songs, this album's probably close to like between 45 minutes and an hour long because the songs are so long.
Yeah.
There are no songs that are below 4 minutes long, I think.
And I mean, you would have to listen to the song many, many times to even scratch the surface of its depth.
Yeah. And obviously, Bowie has passed on. We will never know all the depths.
Yeah, true.
So it's up for our interpretation. Song number 6 is called Dollar Days. I gave it 3.5 black stars. It's a lot more melodic than melodic.
It's a lot more melodic.
It's a lot melodic. It's a lot more melodic than the last song, but it's a lot slower also. And I think he's reflecting on the past a bit on this song. And there's one really, really, really eerie lyric. Mm-hmm. And it kind of comes and goes in the chorus, but at the very end of the chorus he says, I'm trying to, I'm dying to.
Yeah.
And I think the actual lyrics is I'm dying to, and when they say to, they mean T-O. But I think it should be T-O-O because he knew he was dying. Like I said, he had cancer when he was recording. He knew, and at one point in time, he knew it was a terminal illness.
Yeah.
So obviously he's dying too. On to the last song number 7, which is I Can't Give Everything Away.
Last recommendation.
I gave it 4 black stars, but I think I might change it to 5 black stars just because I've been thinking about it a lot.
It's a great song. It's an amazing song.
It's not my favorite song, but contextually, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. At the beginning of this song, there's a harmonica, like a harmonica part. And if you are not really familiar with David Bowie's discography, it is a harmonica part that comes straight from one of his other songs called A New Career in a New Town. If you listen to both songs, there is no mistaking. It's straight from that.
That's so intentional then.
Oh,
he's like, I'm
very
moving
much
on
so.
to a different phase of whatever existence is.
Yes, very much so.
Huge. That's so crazy.
And obviously, a new career, a new town, like you're referencing. You're done with your town. You're done with your career. You're moving somewhere else to do something new.
Yeah.
So when David Bowie, like when I think about this, I think he's saying, "I'm done with life. I'm going on to the next adventure."
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
Which is crazy. That's why I think the song's fantastic.
Yeah.
Another little fun piece of trivia: the song "A New Career, a New Town" was on his album called "Low," and it was the 7th song also.
Oh, really?
So both of those songs are song number 7. Kind of cool, isn't it?
Definitely intentional.
I don't know if that is it
had
intentional.
to be. It had to be, right? Like, cause why would he put this song last and not this song?
Because it sounds like a Swan song in context.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just a really cool piece of trivia that we can
Yeah.
speculate if it was intentional or not.
Yeah, for sure.
It sounds like it was intentional. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's definitely there's a connection there.
Yeah.
And like I said, A New Career in a New Town, his song from the album Low from the 70s, is about moving on and starting new. And you know what? I think that gives something away. Or I should say...
Oh, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark.
What do you think the lyric...
I can't give everything
Yeah.
away.
What do you think that lyric means? I can't give everything away.
I mean...
And even, quick, before you say that, I read a lot of
Things on
interpretations
Lyric
where they say, since he says, I can't give everything, and then pauses
Away.
away. Is it like, I'm going away?
No, I don't think so.
Maybe. I don't know. But what do you
don't
think the
think so.
lyric,
I mean-
can't give everything away means? Because I had a hard time deciding for myself what I thought it means. And I can't come up with a concrete thing.
To me, I would say that it means he can't give all that he wants to give.
Okay.
Like, especially in the context of the fact that he was dying when he wrote it. I'm guessing it means like
He's got more that he wants
I
to
have
offer.
so much more to give in this life, and especially based on the type of person that he was and how eccentric and how crazy and amazing he was. Like, I'm
Yes.
sure he wanted to give more, wanted to live longer.
Can I interject one thing?
Yeah.
Even though he knew that his illness was a mortality, like a terminal illness, the producer said that Bowie had expressly said to him that he wanted to record new material before he died. He had
really?
new stuff, but because he thought he had longer than he did,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it
because
never happened.
wasn't his cancer in remission at some point?
During part of the recording process, I believe it was, but it came back with strong aggression, obviously.
Yeah.
But crazy, isn't it?
So that's kind of what I think that lyric means. But I know that other people have said like it means he doesn't want to, like, he can't give away stuff about his personal life or
Yeah.
like, exactly what his songs mean or anything like that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's the first one that I said.
I can't give everything that I want to give to the people.
Yeah.
I can't give you more music. I can't give you more heart, more emotion. I can't give you more myself.
Before I become a Blackstar.
Yeah, it's really
It's a really intense,
sad.
really intense emotional album.
It's really sad. Like it's really sad. That's all I have to say.
That's all you can really say about it. Like
To put this album like in conclusion.
After you listen to that last song, you have to take like a couple of minutes to
come down
like
and
wind
figure it out.
down.
It's a crazy album. Like the first time I heard it, I was like off put, but then like going back and listening to the lyrics, I was like, oh my gosh, this is way different than I thought.
Yeah.
And the main question that I have for myself and for you is, did context make this album what it is? For me, I think yes. If David Bowie didn't die,
I think so, yeah.
If he was still alive right now, this
lot of the
album
songs
would
would-
not mean the same thing that it would
Makes
mean to
sense,
us.
yeah.
Which that's not I'm not taking away. That's not a bad thing. I'm
Yeah.
just saying
But
it was so intentional.
yeah. I mean, he had to know that he was gonna die though.
Oh, for sure. He
So I
definitely
think
did.
this was almost like a farewell album to his fans.
And the producer had said this is his farewell gift to his fans.
Yeah.
He literally said that to the public.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So crazy.
Well,
but either way,
that's all I have to say about that album.
either way, listen to both these albums.
Yeah,
They're
both these albums are really
fantastic.
worth your time.
A little bit different in context, but a little bit different subject matter, but still fantastic though.
Very different subject matter, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, definitely. That's all right.
That's okay.
That's okay, I guess.
You guess well.
Yeah, I guess I do. Well, why don't we come back to the brew portion of the episode?
Has your flavor profile of your Victory at Sea coconut style changed at all?
It's only gotten better. It's still has that really nice upfront bitterness and the roasty malties that you want from an imperial porter,
Still there?
along with that very nice tiny hint of coconut. It's very good.
Still there?
It's
Nice.
very good.
Yeah, mine's still really like very subtle in the flavor, but really good. It's got that crispness, the nice mouthfeel, but like I'm saying, it's not a big beer. I'm not getting Saketumi in the punch, like in the abs,
In the stomach.
I'm not getting Saketumi in the gut.
There you go.
And that's a better way to say it.
But it sucking to me to the abs.
Yeah, but
Or in
it's
my pecs.
it's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it very much so. So I think we've had good beers and good albums.
Good beers, good albums.
One of the next. Well, I think. Are we gonna put out the Beatles one before this?
Probably.
Probably.
I don't know.
We'll see. You guys will know when we release this.
You'll know what we're
podcast.
talking about in a little bit here.
Yeah.
But either way, why don't we recommend albums for next week or next 2 weeks?
All right. Why don't you recommend one for me?
All right. I'm going to recommend the album Marquee Moon by the band Television.
What?
This is an album from 1977. It's a rock and roll album.
1977.
The reason I recommend it is because they are a very unique sounding band from the 70s. Very unique voice, very unique style. Very good. So the band Television, the album is called Marquee Moon. As in like a marquee, like tonight playing Television. That's what I'm recommending for you. So what are you going to recommend for me, Steve?
So I'm gonna recommend an album by the band Pennywise.
Oh, okay.
They've got a lot of really good albums. I won't go on what critics would say is like their biggest album. I'm gonna go by what I like the best. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I know before I've given you Bad Religion and NoFX albums that critics say they're the best, where I didn't necessarily agree.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the album From the Ashes.
From the Ashes
by the band Pennywise.
Okay.
So what say you that we finish our beers?
Yes.
Give the 1-2 and
1-2
sign off.
shibbity beep boo clink and sign off.
Okay, let's do it.
Shibbity beep boo. So tasty. Don't go down the wrong tube there.
Just slightly down the wrong tube.
Did that just sock it to your lungs?
Sock it to me to my esophagus.
Sock it to your
It's sock it to me esophagus.
Oh, sock it to me in my esophagus.
Well, once again, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate every single one of you that takes the time to find our podcast.
Yeah, for real though.
Click the play button and listens for more than 5 seconds. It really means a lot to us. My name is Stephen Johnston.
And my name is Jesse Titus.
And this is American Brews and Tunes.
Peace.
Here's a theme song, you know it's not a mean song. It's a good song, just as it should song. American Brews and Tunes. Shibbity beeby da.